Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told how to voice the radio. So today, well look, Astral Radiance has gone and been revealed. We know about Astral Radiance, we know it's coming, we know a bunch of information about it. So it's time to do that thing we do, a little series we like to do on this channel, where we look at whether it's worth investing in collecting that set, or whether you should focus on the other sets that came around it. So for the purposes of this video, we are going to be taking Astral Radiance, and we're going to be putting it side by side with Brilliant Stars, and with Fusion Strike, essentially the three most recent sets, to try and decide which one of those is more deserving of your money, because I'm assuming that somewhat like myself, you guys don't have infinite money, so decisions do have to be made here, so we can see which one of these is more deserving. And we might as well start off with Astral Radiance, because that is a new set, that is the exciting set. And I do want to say, and we'll get into the proper discussion in a minute, but I do want to say straight off the bat, I am in on Astral Radiance. This might end up being the set on which I spend the most money in quite a long time, because it looks awesome. And there's several cool things about Astral Radiance. Now, the big question mark, and this is going to impact it, and I'm sorry I can't give you a better answer right now, hopefully I will be able to in the future, but the big question mark around it at the moment is what's happening with the trainer gallery. Because we know that the trainer gallery over in Brilliant Stars was awesome, but we also know it wasn't perfect. So there were some really good cards, things like the Sylveon, which I still need to try and get my hands on, and obviously the Alchemy I'm a huge fan of. But then the gold cards were the Urshifu, which weren't exactly the top tier cards. It was fine. It was good. I loved it. But fair to say, not perfect. We know we're getting a 30-card trainer gallery subset in Astral Radiance, just like we did in Brilliant Stars, and we can assume that it is going to have some character rares, character super rares, gold cards, and full art supporters, but we don't know exactly what they're going to be. The big one that's missing at the moment is Charizard. There is a Charizard character rare that, as it stands at the moment, just isn't out there. But there are a whole bunch of other ones out there that make me kind of jealous. For me, I want that Hayaganosuke Kricketune. That is one that I am absolutely just falling over myself to try and get hold of. And there are some others which are very cool as well. But I think it's a Charizard that could make some waves in terms of making this a collectible set. Certainly, the fact that Brilliant Stars had both Umbreon and Sylveon is probably going to give it the edge for now. But the big question I cannot answer in this video, really, is the Trainer Gallery subset, because we haven't seen it yet. I apologise about that one. But there is something new coming along in this particular set, in Astral Radiance, and that is the debut of Radiant Pokémon. Now, it's awkward for most people at the moment, because most people haven't had the opportunity to see these in person, unless they're a big old nerd like myself who's gone and imported some from Japan. And because I'm a big old nerd that's imported some from Japan, I can tell you that these are stunning. Absolutely stunning. Artwork-wise, the cards are fine. They're not my favourite. But the holo pattern and the texturing and how they look under light, goodness me, is phenomenal. I assure you the scans on screen at the moment do not do them justice. It is great. Absolutely great. Now, there's only 3 of them, Greninja, Hawlucha, and Heatran. All of them are playable. Greninja's the best, then Hawlucha, then Heatran. Although Heatran has a lot of potential. And to be fair, Hawlucha lets you do 30 more to Pokemon VMAX. So, over time, that's just going to get worse and worse. But my point is, they're coming and they are cool. So we've got the Trainer Gallery subset. And we've got the Radiant Pokemon, which is awesome. For me, the reason why this set looks so amazing is because they have gone full Legends Arceus. They are really leaning into Legends Arceus. So 3 of the V-Star that we have already had confirmed are going to be the first partner Pokemon, Decidueye, Samurott, and Typhlosion. For what it's worth, the Samurott is legitimately good. That is definitely a deck I'm going to be testing quite a lot. It does 110 damage, but that doubles if the defending Pokemon's already got any damage on it. And just a day or two ago, we got Gapejaw Bog revealed, which is basically Team Magma's secret base, which just places 2 damage counters on any Pokemon that gets benched, which is going to combo phenomenally with this. So yeah, This is one I have absolutely got my eye on. We know that the origin forms of Dialga and Palkia from the games are going to be featured in there as well, which is pretty gosh darn sweet. And this is adding up to a really nice set of V-Star. I personally prefer the V-Star here to in the previous set, in Brilliant Stars, or as we're going to see in a minute, that did have some which are worth celebrating, I think is fair to say. Also, as a side note, you should expect this to have 3 gold V-Star rather than 1, because we've got both Battle Region, which had Samurai in, and then we've got a double set of Sword and Shield 10. And although it's not actually confirmed yet, you can assume, and I think this is not a particularly difficult prediction, you can assume that Space Juggler is going to have a gold Palkia and Time Gazer is going to have a gold Dialga. So there's actually going to be 3 gold V-Star rather than 1, which is going to make this therefore a more sought after set. We could see character rares of Pokemon like Weirdeer and Cleaver, although like I told you a moment ago, the actual content of the Trainer Gallery subset is not known at the moment. So, hold your horses on that one. There's also a Garchomp, which will be super popular if it's included in the set. But again, we're talking Trainer Gallery subset, so I can't tell you definitively one way or the other. But essentially what we've got here is a similar kind of set to Brilliant Stars. You're going to have the Trainer Gallery subset. You're going to have a bunch of V-Star. The difference is, rather than having 4 V-Star, there's going to be 8. And I assume there's going to be 3 gold ones rather than 1. And we've got the Radiant Pokemon coming in as well. For me, the reason I'm so in love with Astral Radiance is because I'm so in love with Legends Arceus as a game, and I want all the cards with all of that artwork. For me, I am picking Astral Radiance over Brilliant Stars, but that is largely a personal choice based on my love of Legends Arceus. In terms of the set as a whole, I think the combination of 8 V-Star, probably 3 gold ones, and your Radiant Pokemon, and the Trainer Gallery subset as well, I really do think probably puts this in at number 1. But let's look at the other 2 sets while we're here. Brilliant Stars is in a lot of ways very similar to Astral Radiance. The thing is, it's just a bit less. Now, don't get me wrong, you've got Charizard. And to be fair, you've got the Rainbow Rare Charizard, and the Full Art Charizard, and the Alternate Art Charizard, all of which very much add up here. And of course, there is a Full Art Marnie card, and a Full Art Cynthia card, and then you've got those gold birds. So there's quite a lot to like here. And I think Brilliant Stars is a great set to be investing in, to be collecting, because you've got all of that cool stuff going on. You've got the gold Arceus, which everybody loves, and if you don't, you really should. The thing is, I think the biggest problem with Brilliant Stars is that Astral Radiance is taking everything it did and doing it a bit better. You're going from 4 V-Star to 8, 1 gold V-Star to 3. We can't compare the Trainer Gallery subset yet. That might make a difference, I suppose, a little bit down the line. But you don't have the Radiant Pokemon, you don't have as many V-Star, you don't have as many gold V-Star, you don't have that tie into the super popular game that just came out. And I think that's what hurts Brilliant Stars. Sure, you've got the evolutions in the Trainer Gallery subset, and that's amazing. Especially the Vaporeon. The artwork on that one is redonkulous. But I do think it's a Trainer Gallery subset that's going to save it. Like I say, you've got Sylveon and Umbreon, and Mimikyu, I suppose we could chuck in there as well. So there are a lot of cool things in there. Outside of the Trainer Gallery subset, and there is every possibility Astral Radiance is just as good, it's not as strong a set. Couple decent full art supporters, couple nice gold cards. It really is the Charizard cards that are saving it. And maybe down the line, when we're looking at sets in 10 years' time, maybe that's going to be enough. Maybe the fact that there are 3 Chase Charizard cards is enough to make Brilliant Stars a set that in 10 years' time is going to be one of the very most sought-after sets in the game. Because it could. But it's just the Charizard. It really is as simple as that. It's a really good set playability-wise. It's a very fun set. But in terms of long-term, how good it's going to be, it's Charizard and I suppose the evolutions that we see in the Trainer Gallery subset. Fusion Strike for me, I'm afraid, is a clear number 3. You see, you still don't have the Radiant Pokemon, obviously, but there's no Trainer Gallery subset. So you're just left with the regular cards. And the fact of the matter is, we got a few alternate arts, and that is about it in terms of, your chase cards. You've got your alternate art VMAXs, your Mew, your Espeon, and your Gengar. There's an Inteleon, but it's not going up on the screen because it's nowhere near. Then you've got, your alternate art Celebi and your alternate art Mew, which are very cool and people love. I personally love the Greedent and Genesect, but they are nowhere near in terms of value. And you've got some cool full art supporters, headlined by Shauna and Elisa's Sparkle, but they're not really on that same level. And you end up kind of like Brilliant Stars, except instead of it's all about Charizard, it's all about Mew. You've got the two alternate arts, you've got the Rainbow Rare, you've got the full art. But that is not compared to the Charizard in Brilliant Stars. And you don't have as many chase cards, you don't have the Trainer Gallery subset, you don't have Radiant Pokemon. And actually with Fusion Strike, I do think it is a bit of a step back from the other two. I think if we're putting these three sets side by side, I do think you've got to put Fusion Strike as a distant third. And that makes me sad, because if you look at cards like Greedent, like Genesect, like Celebi, I do think this is a good set with some amazing cards, and I do think history is going to be kind to this set. Certainly in terms of playability, it's the Fusion Strike set, and that's been very, very impactful on competitive Pokemon. But in terms of picking up boxes, getting chase cards, things of that nature, I don't think Fusion Strike can compete with Brilliant Stars and Astral Radiance. When we got to year 3 of the Sword and Shield TCG, and we added in the Trainer Gallery subset, and then we added in Radiant Pokemon, that really was a step above. I will say, Brilliant Stars and probably Astral Radiance are not on the same level when it comes to the alternate arts, especially the VMAXs, but there's enough character rares and all of that to really push that aside. Although I do think, like I say, when we're 10 years down the line, people are going to look back at Fusion Strike and the alternate art cards, and they are going to be very sought after. But going back to the initial question, I am actually putting Astral Radiance number 1, and I think it's pretty close for Brilliant Stars. And I think we're going to need to see the Trainer Gallery subsets in full before we can really make a concrete decision. But I think the Radiant Pokemon, the more V-Star, the more Gold V-Star, and the fact you got that time with Legends Arceus, for me, really does put it over the top. But don't let me decide for you. I've just laid out the sets here. It really is up to you guys, and I want to know where you come down in the comment section. Do you think Astral Radiance is going to beat out Brilliant Stars, like I do? Or do you think Brilliant Stars is going to remain the champion? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And obviously, if you want to defend Fusion Strike, please do. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.